Hi everyone, welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday and sometimes Fridays. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. Reminder, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description of every single episode. If you guys want to support the pod, if you want to help Centennial World keep going, we literally appreciate every single dollar. It goes back into the business. It means so much to us. Okay, before I get into the stories, I have a fun little thing for you guys. The next edition of our newsletter will be our Close Friends newsletter series. Close Friends is a series within our Keep Scrolling for Substack newsletter where we discuss a piece of content that we found particularly interesting. We love reading your comments every single day on the podcast, so we wanted a place to share those opinions with others and hopefully kind of foster that sense of community amongst people who are interested in chatting about internet culture, not just kind of consuming it through our podcast, our TikTok, our newsletter more passively. So it's kind of like a book club for content. So for our first edition, we will be discussing a TikTok about overconsumption and the patriarchy. I will insert the TikTok obviously in the show notes, but I will also play it at the end of this episode. So if you don't have TikTok or you don't want to open the TikTok, you can listen to it at the end. So in the comments on YouTube, Spotify, even in our DMs, if you share your thoughts about the video and the topic, then you may find yourself featured in our newsletter when it goes live. And every edition of Close Friends will also have our opinions in it as well. So go subscribe through the link in the show notes if you guys want to take part in our kind of content book club. Okay, the first story that I have for you guys today is that Brooke Schofield and Tana Mojo are disagreeing on what to do with old episodes of the Cancelled podcast. So the Cancelled podcast is going viral again with a clip of Brooke and Tana discussing what to do with the episode archive once the podcast is officially over. In the episode, which was published on August 9th, Tana questions whether all of the episodes should be deleted off YouTube.
Bible verses on my main YouTube channel. I don't know. And then it's like, what do I do with this channel? Because it was my vlog channel before. Now is it just like continuing eras and then like all of a sudden I'm like doing something else on this? Like it's just, do I leave Cancelled up? Or do we delete all of Cancelled?
What? Why would you delete all of Cancelled?
I don't know.
I'm counting on at least like $1,000 here or there from AdSense.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my God, that's just
Why
so
would
messy.
we erase it? Or do you hate me that much?
No, I don't hate you. I'm just saying like the era, like I don't know.
You want to delete it all?
I've also said a lot of things on Cancelled that I would love to just die.
What the hell?
In the comment section of the YouTube video, fans were surprised that this was something that Tana was even considering. Many felt it was disrespectful to Brooke, given she helped build the channel. One user wrote, "Tana, if you create another vlog channel, everyone will go over to it. You can't do that to Brooke. She helped build it even if you had numbers before Cancelled. You both deserve to make money off of the old episodes. That just gave me so much anxiety for Brooke, my gosh." Another wrote, "Brooke, please lawyer up. The fact that Tana brought up deleting old episodes is crazy. This is a brand they built together and Brooke is entitled to her share. Nonetheless, the fans would be beyond sad with no episodes left to watch. Tana's entitled attitude shocked me in this ep." On top of this, viewers questioned why Tana would want to delete Cancelled, given it's one of her most successful projects. Some people actually think it has to do with the association with Brooke, given, how she handled the situation around her racist tweets that came up, and the fact that the internet has largely not forgiven her for that, whereas others think maybe she just wants to wipe her slate clean somehow. There are obviously some people that think she has the right to do it. So the Cancelled podcast YouTube channel was originally Tana's vlog channel, and it had 2 million subscribers before they started Cancelled. However, obviously, the channel itself has grown because of the podcast, so much over the last couple of years because of the podcast. So some people are like, well, yes, Brooke helped build the podcast, but also the channel had 2 million subscribers from Tana before. However, after receiving some backlash from the audience, it seems that Tana is no longer considering deleting the episodes. Responding to a comment on TikTok that read, "Don't delete the podcast episodes," Tana wrote, "We are not. Sometimes I forget that I can't just be sharing my stream of consciousness." Okay, yeah, I agree that there would need to be some type of buyout. Tana would have to buy Brooke out of her portion of the YouTube channel to, even though I know that Tana started it and it was like her channel to begin with, but at the end of the day, I'm sure maybe they didn't, but I was gonna say, I'm sure they had some type of like contract in place where they both own X percentage of Cancelled. So if you take the YouTube percentage of the greater Cancelled brand, I think it would be fair if Tana bought Brooke out from that, depending on how, whatever number they come to in terms of like what they think it's worth. And then she can do whatever she wants with that channel. But people are definitely blowing this, I think, a little bit out of proportion. Like they were just having a conversation, but I did see a lot of feedback of people being like, I can't believe like we're privy to this conversation. This is a conversation, like a business conversation. You need to be having like offline. Like, why did they not edit this out? Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is I'm going to recap what is going on between Liv Schmidt and Carly Weinstein. These are two New York City TikTokers. I mean, I've talked about Liv Schmidt here before because she is like a skinny talker, okay? So she is very problematic and she has had her accounts banned like 100 different times. But the two of them, I mean, I wouldn't say they're feuding, but there's like something going on. So Carly Weinstein is a TikToker with over 500,000 followers. She's based in New York City and she makes videos basically just like documenting her life. She's like a lifestyle vlogger. She is kind of polarizing online. Some people love her, obviously. Others think she's really out of touch. I guess what's new, that's kind of how a lot of people feel about the New York City like lifestyle TikTokers. But either way, a few days ago, she responded to a question on her Instagram story. Somebody asked her in the question box, what are your thoughts on Skinny Society? If you're unfamiliar, Skinny Society is a page / like community run by Liv Schmidt. The goal of the group is to help people, mostly young women, lose weight. But there have been many claims that the techniques she promotes in the group glorify restrictive eating and disordered eating. And, she really became super famous for saying the most unhinged things about like other people's bodies and about like being skinny and placing this like very strong, I guess, like moral judgment on people who don't prioritize being as skinny as possible at all times. So Carly responded to the question. She DM'd me once asking if she could help me lose weight. It should be noted that this isn't the first time that Carly has spoken up about Skinny Society. In May of this year, for example, she shared the dangers of promoting this kind of group in a TikTok. Carly's response to the Instagram question sparked a back and forth between the two creators. Liv shared the DM that she sent Carly, explaining that she was just trying to be a quote-unquote girl's girl. This is what the DM said. I know you don't like me, and I know you probably don't agree with a lot of what I say, but I came across your TikTok and it honestly hit me. Hearing how uncomfortable you feel in your body, I've been there, more than you know. I've been on Prestia, I think is how you say it, since 3rd grade. I've dealt with anxiety most of my life, and I just want you to know it's okay to want to change your body. That doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you broken. I'm so confident there's a way to do this that feels private, empowering, and completely your own. I'd never share anything. We can keep this 100% confidential. I don't care about any drama or differences. I just hate for our opposing views to get in the way of a chance to help you feel better in your own skin. If you're ever open to it, I'd love to talk, even just for 30 minutes, Zoom or in person. No agenda, no pressure, just support. I'm confident I could help you in the most sustainable way with my method. Okay, I don't know what Carly posted to prompt Liv to DM her like this, but unless Carly literally made a TikTok that said, I need somebody to help me lose weight. I am looking to lose weight. Please message me directly if you can help me. I think this is a completely inappropriate message to send anyone. It also gives like MLM. Don't you think? It's like her just giving her backstory and being like, I relate to you, girly. And then she ends with like, I just want to help you. Let's jump on a 30-minute Zoom, no strings attached. It gives MLM. But yeah, I'm actually like sometimes I'm a little bit scared to talk about Liv Schmidt because she has some culty stands. Like she really does. When we talk about her or, times that I've posted TikToks related to her, like the stands, the girlies, they come out swinging for her. She has truly built herself like a culty audience. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys, there is this like crazy catfish saga that has just made its way onto my For You page. I don't really know how to describe it. Like I don't have a headline for it, okay? It's a little convoluted, so like let me start from the beginning. At the end of last month, TikTok creator Samantha Mack shared a story about how she ran the Boston Marathon, and after that she received a message from someone claiming that he had found someone using her photos. The woman was allegedly taking Samantha's photos and then editing her face onto them. The video is currently sitting at 5.3 million views, and the comment section is flooded with support of Samantha. Samantha then went on to share screenshots of the photoshopped pictures with her followers. The edited pictures included action shots from the marathon and also a picture with Samantha's boyfriend. But the person photoshopping the picture didn't even change the boyfriend's face. But now, this is where it gets a bit twisted. Another TikTok user named Ali went on to respond to a comment on one of Samantha's videos. Okay, so there was like a comment on one of Samantha's videos, and Ali responds to this comment. So Ali says she is the face that is being edited onto Samantha's body. Okay, so, people, like I said, there's 5.3 million people that have seen this video that have seen Ali's face, thinking that Ali is obviously photoshopping herself onto Samantha's body. Okay, so she says, I am the face. Okay, but she claims that she is not the one doing the editing. So she shares that she has had someone use her photos for the last 6 years. She says she has no idea who this person is, and they're not just stealing photos, they're also like fabricating stories about people in Ali's life. So there is like one central account. The woman, quote unquote, like we don't know who it is, but like the person's name on the account is Mallory. So this person, Mallory, I'm sure it's not their real name, but this person, Mallory, is basically taking Samantha's body and editing Ali's face onto Samantha's body in various pictures and using these two things together to create Mallory. Samantha then commented on Ali's TikTok saying she knows who it is. She also posted a follow-up video saying that she and Ali had spoken about the situation privately. Samantha confirmed that they know who the culprit is. Still, they don't want to reveal it online because Ali is considering taking legal action because this has been going on for 6 years. She also did confirm that neither of them know the person personally, because that was like, actually people believed Ali like right out the gate. I think that's kind of rare on TikTok if somebody's out here like, I know that's my face, but I promise I'm not the one photoshopping my face on this person's body. You might be like, okay, sure. But people believed her right out the gate. But a lot of the comments were like, Ali, 100% this has got to be someone in your life. Because she said that they knew like details about her family and stuff. And she was like, I want to press charges. I just like don't know how. So yes, it was confirmed that neither of them know this person in real life. Ali has now shared an update saying she sent a message to the woman who was using her photos. And to Ali's surprise, probably because this is all blowing up, she actually responded. They ended up having a conversation which concluded with the fake accounts being deleted. Responding to a TikTok comment, Ali explained that the person justified using her photos, quote, basically due to poor self-image and feeling like pretending to be someone else was an escape. Honestly, like that is really sad. And I mean, I think we all know that. Like people who truly catfish like this extensively, especially for like 6+ years, doing it with the same, like creating the same likeness, like this Mallory figure. Like, of course, like this is somebody who is using this character of Mallory as an escape. I'm actually just so surprised this got resolved so quickly, especially because Ali's been dealing with it for 6 years, but I guess it all blowing up, like at some point, the catfish was going to have to either like fess up or just like delete everything because it was getting like too big. And you do not want the wrath of like internet sleuths coming for you, because people would have found this person if this kept going and she hadn't have like kind of taken accountability and taken everything down, like this would have kept going. And I bet you in like a matter of days, this person's identity would have been identified by internet sleuths and be doxxed all over the internet. So this is honestly for the best. Okay, and the last story that I have for you guys is also kind of niche. I know you guys love a niche internet story. There is kind of like a story time, like drama is actually, I feel like an inappropriate word to use in this story, but saga situation going on. So a creator named Zav Bav has found herself at the center of controversy after plagiarizing from a journalist. Zav was adopted from China when she was a baby as a result of the one-child policy. She ended up getting adopted and was raised in Ireland. She has made quite a few videos about her adoption story, but she generally makes like vlog style content as an Irish girl who has moved to Florida. In one story, Zav is seemingly getting ready for the day, reflecting on her experience growing up as someone who was adopted. In the video, she is candid about growing up as a minority and her feelings towards her birth parents. But practically everything that she said was plagiarized from an article that was published in the Times. The author was a woman named Esme Hewitt. This isn't to say that Zav obviously didn't have a similar experience, but she literally read the article word for word and then passed that story off as her own. The video has been deleted at the time of recording. So Esme took to TikTok to bring attention to how her article had been plagiarized and to also provide proof. Esme shared her reaction to seeing this, where she naturally commented on the video to call her out. And this led to Zav's partner responding to Esme, calling Esme self-absorbed. She also included screenshots in her TikTok. Zav has since gone on to apologize for the post, saying that she is, quote, deeply sorry for using someone else's words in a video to tell my story. She also says that she has spoken to Esme directly. There were many social media users who were dissatisfied with her apology. They felt like it was inappropriate for her to try and justify her actions by saying that they were true to her experience. Okay, so I do think, I know that Zav took to TikTok and apologized for what happened. I mean, I guess maybe to the adoption community, they could be receiving that apology. But I think in general, the apology is for Esme. However, also plagiarism is such an issue. I mean, I've talked about this so many times. It is such an issue in the digital space. There is actually an entire epidemic of podcasters who plagiarize word for word other people's articles. So this is a TikTok situation, but I know a lot of internet culture journalists were dealing with that years ago when internet reporting, internet culture reporting was kind of first on the cusp of going mainstream. And a lot of podcasters would genuinely take their articles, journalist articles, and just read them as if it was their scripts. And you guys know we have had a plagiarism situation as well with a really big YouTuber where they took a script from our deep dive and they basically put it into ChatGPT, and it was almost word for word as well. I mean, I don't know if it was ChatGPT, but they put it into somewhere, some type of AI, and it came out as, basically our script, essentially. It's intellectual property. It is our work, the amount of time and effort and energy and money that businesses, individual contributors, journalists, creatives, writers put into this work is outrageous. And for people to just be able to rip it off like that, and thankfully Esme saw this, thankfully she was able to kind of call this out and be that's my work. And that is such a personal thing to plagiarize. And a lot of journalists get really attached to their work, even if it's not directly related to them. But this is her adoption story. That's wild. But I actually like how these last two stories of niche internet drama, I like how both of them have ended with a resolution. They both had friction. There was situations that were not great. And then both of these stories ended with the people involved having a conversation and resolving it behind the scenes. It's unfortunate that these situations have to be taken to the internet to begin with, but I also understand in these cases why they do, because they were initially posted on the internet, So it's well, of course, this alley girl is not going to just let 5.3 million people think that she is photoshopping her own face onto this other person's body to be look, I ran the Boston Marathon. And same thing with this other story. Of course, Esme is not going to just let her personal adoption story that would have probably been very difficult for her to write and publish so publicly just be plagiarized by someone else on TikTok. Anyways, guys, that's it for Mini Scroll today. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. I love you guys. Please watch the TikTok at the end.
Y'all ever notice how it's only overconsumption when we're talking about women? Labubus, matcha, purses, blind boxes, etc. But when men spend thousands of dollars on hundreds of thousands of pairs of sneakers, it's not over. I've never seen anybody use the word overconsumption when it comes to men collecting things, ever. So I'm gonna need y'all to just lay off of women for a second on the whole overconsumption thing, because I'm starting to feel there's an unnecessary double standard. Are people overconsuming things? Absolutely. But we need to clock everybody who's overconsuming and not just women, because that's weird. And I feel the patriarchy really actually ruins everyone's perceptions of everything. And everybody always thinks that we're making society better by clocking people for different things, but oftentimes it's misogynistic and falls into the umbrella of just feeding the patriarchy, which is really scary. So just food for thought. That's all. I think people should just think about that a little.
Give us a comment on what you guys think about it, because we will include it in our newsletter coming up. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.